just like to make a couple of general points on Old Mill Road, which I believe reflects the vast majority of the residents' views. Just like to make a comment that the businesses are very well run in that area. They deliver excellent services to Portishead residents. They provide significant employment opportunities and have the potential to provide training opportunities for youngsters, which is something I'm particularly interested in. Portishead has seen a very rapid increase in housing stock, as we all know. I fully appreciate that applies to a number of other areas in North Somerset. But this has had a significant implication on infrastructure and services, particularly with regard to traffic flow, or lack of it in that case in Portishead, school capacity and access to health services. The town does need employment to provide a balance between housing and employment opportunities. Therefore, I feel that the loss of this site is retrograde and is very unhelpful to the people and the residents of Portishead. Thank you.
Okay. I feel that because we're in a planning application meeting here. David Pasley.
Sorry, just specifically to Old Mill Lane, and just trying to move away from the specifics of the planning to what we as an authority can potentially do to help. I think we can certainly broker a discussion with legal in general about meantime uses. If it has to happen, can it be provided? And also to facilitate a conversation whether you would be interested, I'm looking at particularly the lady that spoke, about taking a lease in the new building. But clearly you need to know what you're going to do in the interim. What we could certainly do, which is entirely our role, is put some pressure on legal in general out of goodwill to try and help. So I think we can make that undertaking that we will have that conversation with them on your behalf or with you. But that is separate to the planning, the specifics of the planning matter, which unfortunately are necessarily terse, I suppose, in the way that I just wanted to make that clear.
Thank you. Councillor Pasley.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to add my weight to the argument that we've got 3 executive members here who live in Portishead, 2 of which represent Portishead, including myself. I'm very concerned that developers seem to be maximising their profits. Why wouldn't they, I suppose? But by wanting to convert employment land and into housing development. In Portishead, basically the town is full. I mean, it really is stacked to the brim. And it needs more employment. So I think we should treat brownfield sites like gold dust. I do not support the developer's desire on Old Mill Road in Portishead to build 100 dwellings. I think it's absolutely wrong. I just don't understand why we should allow that to happen when we have so many homes in Portishead. And you know, the roads are congested, and it's only going to get worse if we allow more houses. There's a planning application going through at the moment on Harbour Crescent, Portishead, which is a brownfield site, to construct 93 residential apartments. And I think that would be a sad loss of prospective employment land. I, for one, will be calling in that application when it comes to PNR and hope that I can deal with it that way. I would agree, if I was asked, that I would actually withdraw these 2 sites in question. But I don't think it's going to come to that today. But I would just like to say that I completely support what fellow councillors have been saying about the 3 areas that we've been talking about, Yatton and Portishead. Thank you.
Councillor Gordano.
Thank you, Chair. I don't want to talk about this site or that site or indeed any site. My interest is in infrastructure and the time up to 2026 and 2036, of course. I was relieved when I saw clause 3.18 when it said the site allocation plan addresses local infrastructure requirements. It didn't go into much detail after that. So I went to 3.24, and that talks about enhancing the A370 corridor. Great, because the A370 is full. You may have noticed that at some times of the day it's a car park. Now, I hope that we're not thinking that in 2026 there will not have been any local infrastructure built, such as Yatton Bypass or Congsbury High Street, or whatever it's called, the junction with A3 Smallway, the junction with the A370, or that the A370 in Weston will not have been enhanced in some way. So it looks to me as if we're concentrating over much on residential aspects